What's going on, guys? So I get a lot of questions these days through my website from people asking for tips for things like bar chords, or anyone that's struggling with a particular song or with a particular chord, or some general playing tips. But I had a question recently on email from a girl called Gemma living out in New Zealand, and she sent a video with it, and she demoed the struggles that she was having and asked for some specific help on it. And that was so much more helpful, and I'd love more of you guys to do that. Send me a video of yourself playing and I will give you some feedback on it. Now, Gemma's question was about the picking for Good Riddance Time of Your Life by Green Day, a fantastic song that's on my channel, and she's allowed me to use that part of her video that she filmed asking the question, and I'm going to play that for you now so that I don't paraphrase and so that you can see the challenges that she's facing, and then I can give my advice, demo a couple of things that I'd recommend. So without further ado, here's Gemma.
Hey Andy, Gemma from New Zealand here. I was just wondering if you could give me some tips on this particular song, Level 6, Time of Your Life by Green Day. I've finished your whole beginner's course now. I did that like 2 weeks ago, and I'm even doing some songs from like the intermediate and hard bit. And I can get those. It's just this one song that has been bugging me for ages and I just can't get it.
Thank you so much, Gemma. That was wonderful. I think you're doing a great job with your development. Obviously, if you're up to a bar chords level and you've taken on some improver songs, your playing is generally pretty good. What seems to stand out is that you haven't taken on probably any other single string picking songs in your song choices that you've chosen from the beginner or improver courses that I have available on my site. Now, this single string playing from chords is something called arpeggios, where we play a chord and we just pick the single notes out of it. That is how this riff is created. Now, a couple of points on the technique of arpeggios. You kind of want to think about them as very small strumming motion. So when we get going in the song, the strumming pattern for certain parts of it is down, down, up, up, down. And when we're doing the picking for the intro, you want to try using that same motion because the intro is to the same rhythm. So down, down, up, down, up. And that really helps you be super economical with your picking so that the movements are going straight to where they need to go because they're using the logic from the strumming motion. One other technique point I would point out with picking arpeggios is to try and get a little bit of movement in the wrist, certainly more than Gemma was demonstrating there. That's what I would recommend. So we don't want to be really stiff wrist and just moving from the elbow because we're playing single strings. I'm basically playing all of that. All the movement is coming from the wrist and my forearm is pretty static. The only way that's really going to be developed is by taking on a wider range of single string picking arpeggio songs, and that is my mission for the next month or so, to give you some single string picking songs to develop everyone's picking pattern that has been working their way through the beginners and intermediate songs that I've got on my channel and website. And we're also going to be throwing some bar chord songs your way, specifically improving the F bar chord, and a lesson on that is to come. But also with these basic, pretty simple open chords that most of you guys will know by now if you've been following the course for a few months or a few weeks. It's all about rhythm and picking accuracy and making everything kind of flow with this picking hand. So we just need a wider variety of them. This is a harder skill than the beginner's strumming patterns. So these types of songs are not really in my beginner's course for that reason. Time of Your Life by Green Day was just in there because a lot of beginners tend to be able to do it. But really, it's an improver level skill, so that's why it's a little later in my course. And I hope you'll join me for some of those improver songs by subscribing to this channel and checking out my website andyguitar.co.uk and searching for arpeggios and improver level songs where we're using a pick. Now, there was a slight error that I told Gemma about, and she was happy for me to show this video with it in, but she plays the thickest string twice. And it is only played once in this riff, so there's a slight tweak of that, and those things happen. Sometimes we just miss it in the tab, or sometimes we misinterpret things and do that, and having someone give you feedback for that is the only way sometimes to improve and notice those things. Sometimes you just won't notice them yourself. Like if you hear your voice recorded on an answering machine, you go, oh, I don't sound like that. That's not me, but you kind of do. You just don't realize it. You should also be regularly recording yourself, like Gemma did. Filming yourself is ideal, even just for your own reference, to look back at your playing and see exactly where you're at, not seeing it worse than it is, but also not missing some very obvious things that might be quite easily correctable, like just a simple note mistake. So another great tip is to make sure you're playing with other people, in front of other people, and trying to get that monkey off your back of being okay with the performance side of guitar when you get into this improver intermediate level. You can also play arpeggios with fingerstyle, so just using basic open chords, but single string fingerstyle with just your fingers without using a pick. And we've got more of those songs coming too. So I hope you'll sign up for the journey with me for improver level, intermediate level songs, and we'll see you in another lesson on my channel. Take care of yourselves, guys. Thank you again to Gemma. Thank you so much for doing that, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.